Good evening and welcome. You're watching Trending Tonight with me, Sanket Upadhyay. Two interesting stories and developments that we are going to track on this show. Story number one, there is a massive surge for the Aam Aadmi Party in the Chandigarh municipal elections. From a non-player to suddenly having a massive surge. In fact, the single largest party in the municipal elections. But you would say that these are municipal polls. What have they got to do with the whole state? Well, the big question is, will Punjab polls mirror these results? There are some interesting findings as far as the BJP's position is concerned, or the Congress position in Chandigarh is concerned. Is Chandigarh going to be what Punjab will be in 2022? Or are these two absolutely different things? Chandigarh is a city, it's a union territory, Punjab is a state. We'll discuss this. Also on the show, there is a political war over missionaries of charity action. You see, in great detail, we are going to tell you what all has happened. Then there were a whole host of clarifications. Missionaries of Charity also released a statement, but there are some unanswered questions. And we are going to ask those questions in an easy to understand explainer on the show in just a short moment from now. But first, let me introduce our guest this evening, Raghav Chadha, who's extremely excited, I would believe, on his party making a spectacular debut in the municipal polls. Raghav Chadha is the co-in-charge of Punjab elections for the Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you very much for joining us. Manjeet Rai, leader of the BJP, former General Secretary of BJP Punjab. Sanjay Kumar, cephalogist and professor at the CSDS to make sense of what has happened. And Harcharan Bence, senior leader of the Shiromani Akali Dal. Thank you very much. Raghav Chadha, first of all, congratulations on this surge, but this is still not a victory. Out of 35, I believe you've got 14. You don't cross the halfway mark, but how significant do you see these results?
Look, first of all, the people of Chandigarh have overwhelmingly voted for the Aam Aadmi Party. And this is the people of Chandigarh saying in no uncertain terms, in an unambiguous manner, "Ik mauka Kejriwal nu." And these results will certainly mirror, perhaps even be more favorable for the Aam Aadmi Party in the upcoming 2022 Punjab elections. I have said this earlier also in the day, I'm saying it again, that this is merely a trailer. And picture abhi baki hai, Punjab election abhi baki hai. And you know, the people of Chandigarh were yearning for change. They were absolutely disenchanted with both BJP and Congress. In 1996, the Municipal Corporation of Chandigarh was constituted. 13 years, the BJP ruled. 12 years, the Congress was in power. 25 years, these parties were ruling Chandigarh, and the administration of Chandigarh was going from bad to worse. And therefore, the people have given, a mandate to the Kejriwal model of governance to come to Chandigarh and perform on the lines of what we've achieved in Delhi. That's point number one. Point number two, usually, Sanket, you would notice that in municipal polls, the victory margins are extremely thin, wafer-thin margins.
And that's exactly the point that the BJP is also making, Raghav. That in many of those seats, they've lost by a very, very narrow margin.
No, quite the contrary. In fact, in several seats, the Aam Aadmi Party's winning margin is extremely healthy, which shows that the people of Chandigarh have, in a very one-sided manner, voted for the Aam Aadmi Party. We may not have been able to sort of, touch the majority mark, but what is also important to highlight here, that for an election of the mayor, you do not need majority. What you need is the maximum number of votes, and it's similar to the first past the post system through which the mayor is elected. So you need not have 18 out of 35. But you can still have your mayor and your deputy mayors. That's how the voting inside the house in the
fair enough.
Municipal Corporation happens.
But Raghav, what we are trying to do, trying to do over here, particularly the Aam Aadmi Party, you're trying to extrapolate that Chandigarh's mood is going to be the mood of Punjab, correct? So if you look at the figures, Aam Aadmi Party has got 14, the BJP is down from 20 to 12. Now, one would think that this should be a dramatic drop. However, that is not the case. Though their vote share has been slashed by half.
Yes, that is the key point.
77%, their vote share is down to 34.
No, that figure is incorrect. It's further. It's in fact at 28%.
Okay.
And once the
No,
final results are published
by the data that we got in the evening.
Yes, so it's further down. They're at 28%. So it's a significant decline for the BJP, a significant decline for the Congress, and the Aam Aadmi Party, for which it was a debut. We were participating in the Chandigarh municipal polls for the first time.
40%.
I think this is an it's an exceptional debut. It's a phenomenal debut. And the people of Chandigarh have overwhelmingly voted for the Kejriwal model of governance.
And you feel that this is going to be replicated across Punjab?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because Chandigarh is an inalienable part of Punjab, and I'm saying this with some understanding of the state that the mood in Chandigarh reflects the mood in Punjab, and the mood in Punjab reflects the mood in Chandigarh. And therefore, Chandigarh is merely a trailer. You have a full Punjab movie that you will see in the month of February 2022 when the state goes to polls.
So Raghav Chadda says, picture abhi baki hai. Mr. Manjeet Rai, what would you say, and how interesting does the contest in Punjab become post these results? First of all, would you agree that it is okay to extrapolate a Punjab, an assessment on the basis of Chandigarh? ये सही है कि आप पूरे पंजाब का एक असेसमेंट बना लें चंडीगढ़ के बेसिस पे?
संकेत, मैंने आपको भी सुना और राघव चड्ढा जी को भी सुना। आपने देखा होगा 16 में हमारे 20 हमने जीते थे वहां पर, तो पंजाब में क्या हुआ? अब ऐसे आम आदमी पार्टी और राघव चड्ढा जी को ऐसी तरह खुश नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये चंडीगढ़ में कुछ सीटें ले गए तो पंजाब भी ये जीत जाएंगे। लास्ट टाइम भी ये कह रहे थे हम 80 सीटें जीतने वाले हैं, तो इनका क्या असर हुआ? अब जो जीते भी वो भी खिटपुट गए। अब ऐसे आप चंडीगढ़ को पंजाब से आप रिलेट नहीं कर सकते। अगर हम रिलेट करते तो लास्ट टाइम 2016 में हमने 20 सीटें जीती थी और लगभग 13-14 साल से हम चंडीगढ़ में अपना कॉर्पोरेशन में अपने लोगों को सेवाएं दे रहे थे। अब जो चंडीगढ़ के लोगों ने वोट दिया, हम उसके सामने अपना नतमस्तक है। और पंजाब में जो आप रिलेट कर रहे हो, दैट इज टोटली रॉन्ग।
Okay, Raghav, before I come to you, let me quickly get in a comment from others also. There are two more guests waiting, and then I'll come back to you. You will have your right to reply. Sanjay Kumar, what is your assessment? Do you think that it is okay to extrapolate a result in Punjab on the basis of a Chandigarh win?
No, it is not okay to extrapolate how Punjab is going to vote when assembly elections take place next year based on what has happened in Chandigarh, because Chandigarh is a purely urban city. So we can see how BJP has performed very well in these polls. And even if we look at the last municipal election, BJP did extremely well, but BJP did not perform well in the assembly election. So Aam Aadmi Party certainly, has won large number of seats, 14 seats. I'm not saying that Aam Aadmi Party may not do well in Punjab. They might do very well in Punjab, but I would hesitate to believe that this is a reflection of what is going to happen in Punjab, because if this is the reflection, then you should expect a BJP to be very close to Aam Aadmi Party when the assembly election takes place, which is not the case. So this is not a reflection of what is going to happen in Punjab. But again, I'm stressing, don't misread my statement. I'm not saying that Aam Aadmi Party may not do well. Aam Aadmi Party seems to be the front runner in the Punjab assembly election, but not based on what has happened in Chandigarh.
But do you feel that they will have a significant surge in their vote share as opposed to other players?
Absolutely. In my own assessment is that Aam Aadmi Party is the front runner in Punjab assembly election.
Even in a five-cornered contest which Punjab has become?
Certainly in a five-cornered contest, Aam Aadmi Party is ahead of all other parties. I'm not sure whether they will be able to get a majority or not, but my own assessment is
and that's a very, very significant point. Even here, the Aam Aadmi Party does not enjoy a majority. And a lot of commentators I spoke to from Punjab, their assessment is that this is exactly what is going to happen. That they may get a surge, but not enough to form a government. Very quickly, Mr. Bence, what is your assessment?
See, let me congratulate Mr. Raghav Chadda, first of all, for performing sort of not as good as he claims to be, because it really doesn't constitute a victory in that sense. But anyway, congratulations for at least making a presence there. But secondly, I'd like to hold Mr. Chadha to his statement that Chandigarh is an inalienable part of Punjab. I hope that Mr. Kejriwal will be saying that in Punjab when he comes for campaigning, and also that SYL that Punjab shouldn't build SYL and the river waters belong to Punjab. These two things, I'd like to hold him to that. But as far as extrapolating the results are concerned, see, Chandigarh has never been an SAD territory. We have never featured in any of these elections. We never won a seat to parliament from here. We have never been a serious runner here, basically because we are a Punjab party. And Chandigarh is a union territory, as we all know. And never in the past has the results of Chandigarh ever reflected or been reflected in the results
Politics of Punjab.
In the politics of Punjab. See,
Okay.
every time it's either the BJP or the Congress in Chandigarh, whereas the Shromani Akali Dal, which doesn't figure anywhere in Chandigarh, has been in power for 15 of the last 20 years in Punjab.
Significant. Yes, Raghav
May
Chadha,
I-
you wanted to come in.
Sanket, a couple of quick points. First of all, let me substantiate my comment that Chandigarh mood mirrors the mood of Punjab and Punjab's mood is mirrored by the mood in Chandigarh. I said that merely because there is a sentiment, an underlying sentiment for change. बदलाव के लिए वोट पड़ा है. People of Punjab are fed up with the Akali Dal BJP as well as with the Congress. In the last 50 years, the Congress has run the administration in Punjab for 26 years and the Akali Dal BJP and combined have run the administration for 24 years. In these 50 years, the people of Punjab have only suffered and therefore they're yearning for change. Similarly, in Chandigarh, there was an underlying sentiment for change. And that is the sentiment that I'm referring to. For 13 years, you had BJP. For 12 long years, you had the Congress in the administration in Chandigarh. So therefore, people want an alternative. Aam Aadmi Party comes across as this pure.
Okay,
fire
so on the basis
and,
of that
you know,
yearn for
and-
change, you are extrapolating.
Yes.
Okay,
And let
fine.
me just Sanket, give me 30 more seconds. It is incorrect. It is absolutely incorrect to say that the Punjab elections in the year 2022 are going to be a five-cornered contest. On some seats, it is a direct fight between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. On a few seats, it is a direct fight between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Akali Dal. The Captain BJP alliance is a non-starter in Punjab. If you were to tour the state of Punjab, you would find that very, very soon, early or in your tour. So it is a direct fight between AAP and Congress on most
Sure.
seats and AAP and Akali Dal on few seats. And
Okay.
number two, those who say that Chandigarh represents only the urban mood, let me tell you, there are more than a dozen constituencies which are urban in Punjab and there are there are some which are
Yeah, it's quite an
semi-rural or
urbanized
semi-urban.
state. I agree.
So therefore, it is absolutely unfair to say that merely because a UT like Chandigarh has voted for
Okay,
AAP, they may
okay.
not
Very
vote for AAP
quickly,
in
last
Punjab.
comment of
It is largely
Sanjay
those
Kumar.
who live in Punjab who have settled in the UT of Chandigarh.
Okay.
So the mood in Chandigarh is absolutely
Fair enough. You've made your point.
reflective of the mood in Punjab.
Each person has justified. Professor Kumar, I believe, wanted to say something. I'd cut him short. You were saying, Professor Kumar.
No, Sanket, nothing specific. I would stick to the point which I made earlier, that I don't think that these results are a reflection of what is going to happen in Punjab. But
Sure.
again, I would stress the point that don't misread my statement. I'm
Yes.
not saying that Aam Aadmi Party is not doing well.
They will see a
but-
surge, but perhaps not enough to form a government. Very, very significant.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
May
very
I
much.
tell you something?
Thank you.
Sanket,
I've run out of time.
Just give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
Permit me, Sanket, my friend. With 40% vote share that you are projecting on your screen, it will be more than 90 seats in the state of Punjab if we were to
Well,
get that figure.
all the best.
In a five-cornered contest,
We will all wait for the result day. All the best. Thank you very much. Shiromani Akali Dal, BJP, Aam Aadmi Party and the two players who are not here. Thank you very much for joining us on discussion number 1. Let's quickly move to story number 2. Why Missionaries of Charity's foreign fund license was not renewed. Right? This is the big political war over Missionaries of Charity action. Let's first try to understand what the Home Ministry has said. So the Home Ministry says that the renewal application was refused Guess on which date? 25th of December, Christmas Day 2021. This renewal of application was refused. Then the Home Ministry says that the application did not meet eligibility conditions. No request for revision of application has been received. So this rejection happened on the 25th, and the Home Ministry says that so far we have not received any review of this decision. While considering renewal applications, adverse inputs were noticed. Note this word, adverse inputs were noticed, and that seemed to have formed the basis of the refusal to grant permit or renewal. Now, Home Ministry sources also say that the adverse reports on irregularities in audit reports, this has nothing to do with conversion. So far there is a whole theory going on social media that this had to do with illegal conversion, but Home Ministry sources tell NDTV that this is about irregularities in the audit reports. Now, what did Missionaries of Charity say? They say, and that's the statement on the screen right now in just a short moment, that the Home Ministry did not freeze bank accounts. That request came from the Missionary of Charity themselves. Now let's quickly take a look at what the missionary has said. They say the government refused to renew our FCRA license. This is a license which is very important if you want to receive funds from abroad. Since the government is not renewing our FCRA, we asked our people not to operate our bank accounts. We'll only operate our bank accounts after the government clears our FCRA, the basis of our operations. But all of this has led to a huge political fight where Mamata Banerjee was first of the block, and she tweeted and said, shocked to hear that on Christmas, Union Ministry froze all bank accounts, and it is in this response to this tweet that the Home Ministry was forced to issue a clarification. Froze all bank accounts of Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity in India. Their 22,000 patients and employees have been left without food and medicines. While the law is paramount, humanitarian efforts must not be compromised. Shashi Tharoor was not far behind. He says this is indeed shocking. When Mother Teresa wins a Nobel Prize, India rejoices. When her organization serves the poor and the destitute, the government cuts off their funding. Disgraceful. Derek O'Brien says after a filthy hit job on Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, now the MHA is doing, Ministry of Home Affairs is doing what it does best, spin doctoring and a cover-up. India has an opposition that will fight the good fight, and I have a leader who will always stand up for the oppressed. He spoke about Mamata Banerjee. But here are those key questions. While there is an explanation and a counter explanation, an attempt to clear the air, there are key questions. Key question number one, what is the reason why the FCRA application has not been renewed? We still do not know that reason. Unofficially, we are being told that this is about some auditing issue. It has nothing to do with illegal conversion, the allegation that does the rounds. But another key question over here, which is going to be a subject matter of our discussion now, what are these adverse inputs because of which the FCRA application was not renewed? Let's put this to a discussion. Professor Geeta Bhatt, she's a BJP supporter, an RSS supporter. Thank you very much for joining us. We also have Shukendu Shekhar Roy, Rajya Sabha MP of the Trinamool Congress. Mr. Roy, I want to begin with you first. You have heard that there is a statement from the Home Ministry. There is a statement from Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity. Both seem to be playing this down. In a situation like this, why does the Trinamool Congress feel that the action is notorious?
First of all, I would like to clarify that you have mentioned about two statements, one by the Ministry of Home Affairs, another by the Missionaries of Charity.
Yes, sir.
But possibly you are not aware of another statement which was issued by, on behalf of the Archbishop of Calcutta, to whom the Missionaries of Charity reports. And according to that statement, I quote only 2-3 lines, quote,
We have that
the
statement,
bank
sir.
accounts of missionaries of charity. Okay, please go through. In freezing the bank accounts of missionaries of charity, etc., government agencies have given a cruel Christmas gift to the poorest of the poor. And the statement concludes that we condemn the government action against the missionaries of charity and are appalled by the timing and lack of empathy to consider the humanitarian disaster that the decision will cause, unquote. Therefore, Archbishop of Calcutta, to whom the missionaries of charity reports, once they made such a statement, it is natural that the headquarters of missionaries of charity is situated in Kolkata, and Saint Teresa, throughout her life, spent her days in Kolkata and West Bengal particularly to serve the poorest of the poor. That way, all the Calcuttans are concerned, and not only the Calcuttans, but according to me, every right-thinking person should concern about the development. So naturally, being the chief executive of the state, Mamata Banerjee issued a statement based on the statement issued by the Archbishop of Kolkata. So it is, and she said that while the law is paramount, humanitarian efforts must not be compromised. So whatever she said, that the humanitarian consideration must be considered than the other considerations. Now, the second question is, the order was issued on 25th of December. That is a public holiday. Whether government functions on a public holiday or not, I do not know. But the license was valid up to 31st of December. What prompted the government to issue the order on a public holiday, and that too a very vague expression that some adverse inputs were noticed. Did the missionaries of charity get any opportunity of hearing that against you some adverse inputs have been found? These are the adverse inputs. Clarify the position. If the missionaries of charity has failed to clarify the position, naturally action may be taken by the government.
Fair
But
enough.
the principle of natural justice, whether it was maintained or not,
Is that
has
you
not
should
been
be
cleared
given
by
a
the
right to
Ministry of
explain
Home
yourself.
Affairs.
Okay. Professor Geeta Bhatt, you have heard what Shukendu Shekhar
Yes.
Roy has to say. You have also heard this statement, which, by the way, we'll put out on the screen of the Archdiocese of Calcutta, Father Dominic Gomes, who says that, and this is a very, very strong statement, we condemn the government action against the MOC and are appalled by the timing and lack of empathy to consider the humanitarian disaster this decision will cause. This latest attack on the Christian community and their social outreach is even more dastardly attack on the poorest of India's poor, who the Missionaries of Charity congregation serves. It's a very strong statement. And don't you think that the manner in which this action has been taken, even though statements have now been released that they only ask for their accounts to be frozen, needs to be answered? Very strong allegation.
Sanketji, you see the Foreign Contribution Regulatory Act 2010 and Foreign Contribution Regulation and Rules 2011 are mandatory for any organization which is seeking monetary assistance from overseas. And Missionary of Charities was getting monetary assistance from overseas, and their license earlier was up to 31st of October, which was given again an extension up to 31st of December. Now, this controversy which has erupted is what is interesting, which you also mentioned, Sanketji, was that this statement has not been issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs, neither it has been issued by the organization whose account has not been renewed, that is the Missionaries of Charities. But this controversial statement has come out by a political leader who incidentally is also the Chief Minister of Bengal and is heavily invested at present
while it has come from the TMC, Mr. Shukendu Shekhar Roy has just said that the party has pegged its... The party has pegged its... One moment. Professor Bhatt, the party says that we have pegged our statement on the statement released by the Archbishop.
Well, you see, the Archbishop Father Dominic has issued a statement which again is very surprising to see that such a strong statement he has issued by the missionary of charities themselves are denying. It is rather contradictory to the Vicar General statement.
No,
So
there
both
is
of them,
nothing
they are
contradictory, Professor Bhatt.
Contradicting it.
What the
It is
missionaries of
contradictory.
charity have said.
Because, Sanketji, at least give me a minute to speak,
Sure.
at least in flow, and then you can, contradict me. Now, the point is that TMC and Mamata Banerjee, they are, so going full throttle for the Goa elections that they are ready to compromise on, on facts and
No,
information.
what is this Goa
just
connection?
for the sake of
What
the
does this have to
election.
do with
That is
Goa?
That is the reason why this particular statement.
So you're
has
saying
been
that they're
made.
doing this because they want to cater, they want to appease the Christians in Goa. Shukendra Shekhar Roy, quick response, running out of time.
Give me, give me, you have not given me enough time. Sanketji, I need to complete my statement,
Yes.
then you can
No, please
ask me
stop
to
her.
counter me.
Please
Please
stop
give me
her.
time to speak.
I cannot shout at her.
Sanketji, please give me
Very
time to
quickly,
speak.
I've run out of
I
time.
have not completed my statement.
15 seconds,
I
please.
have not completed my
The
statement.
problem
You
is that
see,
BJP
please,
is a religious fanatics. BJP is full of religious fanatics, and one of their outfits, they killed Graham Stearns in Odisha along with his two sons.
Okay.
And since then,
Okay,
the
I'm
attack
afraid
on the
I've run out of
Christian
time.
minorities are on. in
But this new
different parts of
allegation
India,
that all of this
and
is being
this
done
this
because
is
of
a
Goa
cover-up.
is very
This is a
interesting.
cover-up. This
Will-
is a cover-up. The
Sanketji,
missions of
give me
charity.
10
Okay,
seconds.
run out of time.
I want to add two more things.
Professor Bhatt, run out of time. I'm going to carry on this debate. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. But thank you very much to all our viewers for watching this. Good night and goodbye.